HELIOS Tarot Forecast for the month of July, year 2017. I'm B.R. Newman, and this will actually be drawn specifically for your astrological zodiac sign, so pay close attention. And also check out Andy Botticelli's Starry Teller Forecasts through the link below. If you want to see the astrological side of things, it's fascinating how it all lines up so beautifully each time. And also check out my website, IamHelios.com. Consider all that I offer there, personal readings, courses, etc. Alright, other than that, let's just get right to it. Okay, Libra. Here is your 5-card tarot spread. Now this is sort of like a miniaturized Golden Dawn spread, which usually consists of 15 cards. Well, we have 5 here, consisting of a central theme, 2-dimensional timeline options, a past section, and a fate section. In your central theme, that which most suitably sums up or embodies the general theme of the entire reading, is the 6 of Cups. Now all of the 6s in tarot correspond with Spherith 6 on the Tree of Life, which is called Tiferet, also known as beauty, or it's sometimes called the light of Christ, or spirituality itself, integration, compassion, a pretty positive force, and as manifest through water in this case, or cups. This is pleasure, harmony, sexual fulfillment, sensory pleasure, sensory satisfaction, and creativity as well, and all things associated with the force of creation. So in this case, since this is the card of both the Sun and Scorpio, it's a quite dynamic and intense energy. Understandably so. It has to do, with this energy of extending oneself into that which is desired and bringing that which is desired into the self. Of course, done with the essence of, or in the style of, Scorpio, which tends to do everything it can in a sort of excessive or at least full and utter kind of manner, with all of its passion. So in this case, this central theme, pleasure and sensual fulfillment, is being called into question. So this is either something that is quite lacking in your life or something that is just now emerging as an opportunity. So as it's coming into focus, and perhaps I might suggest that you look into your own life and figure out the areas that most suitably match up with these themes, areas of great importance to you, are in need of perhaps some transformation or a different approach that might, upon modification, would respond in a more satisfying fashion. So to achieve this, you can take one of 2-dimensional timelines, or doorways. You can walk through one of 2 doors. One of which is the Tower, which has to do with allowing the old way to crumble completely. Perhaps first examining that old structure, that old outdated manifestation mechanism, and then watching it fall away as you choose something completely different. Choose to start something new, choose to abandon the old project because it obviously isn't serving you. On the other hand, in the case where sensual fulfillment and pleasure and harmony are something that you do achieve on a regular basis, and that would, thus give rise to this central theme, then the Tower is actually speaking of the need to move on to something new anyway. So that is what needs to happen. Now this doesn't mean that the old pleasures are going to go away, but a new approach might actually enhance your capacity to receive them and fully relish in them and make something of them, maybe, perhaps. Now is a bit of a stagnant time. Perhaps you're comfortably unproductive. Now it's always a possibility. You have to consider everything. And if that happens to be the case, then this subject is coming into focus so that you can perhaps modify some of the way you use that which is allowing you to feel so comfortable and satisfied to be more productive and to be of greater service, not only to humankind, but to your particular agenda, that which you would like to sustain in your life. So sustainability then becomes one of the major issues here, which the Tower is reminding you to keep as a prominent, or if not the dominant priority. So the Tower in this case would then be a path of conscious trusting the universal mechanism to remove that which is no longer serving you, and then allowing yourself to distance yourself from any attachments, from any old habits, that involve clinging on to comfortable familiarities, because this change is a positive one. Once you are brought down to a ground zero, you can build anything you would like. So let's consider the other path, the 4 of Wands. The 4s in tarot are all associated with Spherith 4, or Chesed, on the Tree of Life, which has to do with a healing force, repairing the world. There's a kindness behind it. So as manifest through fire, or wands in this case, that would be something coming into balance, something getting corrected, the scales returning to the level point. So this is something that seems quite in line with the very nature of Libra, in that, for those who seek balance, such a card can lend a rather effective helping hand, especially due to the fact that this card is associated with a very comfortable combination of Aries and Venus, Aries being so highly productive and Venus being so comforting. Also, considering the fact that Aries is Libra's polar opposite, and also Venus being under Libran rulership, this celestial planetary combination seems tailored to match Libra's most ideal scenario. To have so much working for you, to allow you to undergo the process of beautification effortlessly, without resistance, but rather automatic support, like a mechanism constantly on, working in your favor. Aries is like significant powerhouse energy, so this is a path that is quite easy. The theme, if reduced to a word, is overwhelmingly easy. The easy path, however, is not always the fruitful path, and you may actually want to consider doing things quite differently so that you have a richer experience, you gain more, learn more, grow a little more. Arguably, the greatest works of art in history have not been born out of privilege, though some of them have, of course, undeniably. But the kind of radical change implied by the tarot tends to produce quite a lot in terms of significant improvement, progress, or, essentially just doing things better the second time around. Word it however you like, greatness is often born out of surrender and out of one's own acceptance of one's own fallibility and mortality and what have you. So, a lot to consider here. Taking it a little further, what was all of this inspired by? In your past section you have the Lover's card, a major arcana, very significant, much like the Tower. But the Lover's card carries themes of alchemical transmutation, the integration of opposites, or the fusions of what would otherwise be diametrically opposed forces. This has to do with merging with one's own shadow, or, if coming from a dark place, accepting through, perhaps the guidance of faith, the light, accepting that into your being. Either way, the middle ground found through the experience of this card would produce the kind of themes we see present in the Six of Cups here in your central theme. So it's no surprise at all that priorities established through the experience of this would, produce the pursuit of beautification in one way or another. Beautification of one's own life, one's own being, including compassion, integrity, etc., or just beautification of the environment. All of which, logically, would bring about either the Tower or the Four of Wands, as a means to achieve them. So you've essentially taken all of your prerequisite courses. Now you just have to choose what you're going to do with it. Do you take the easy route, quite simply allowing Aries and Venus to do the work for you as a simple carry-on from the Lover's card? Or do you start cleansing and purging, letting outdated methods be rewritten, perhaps distancing yourself from dynamics that no longer serve you, perhaps relationships that no longer serve you? Whatever the case may be, the Tower is not the easy path, and you'll know you're on the Tower path if it's not easy. However, you can be sure that your methods and efforts will produce results much to your liking. So let's see where this is all going, a lot of people's favorite part. What is going to happen? Well, you have the Queen of Wands in your Fate section. Now, all of these court cards are associated with the 16 Myers-Briggs personality profiles. It's no surprise or no coincidence that there are 16 court cards. And this Queen of Wands is actually directly associated with the INTJ, or the introverted, intuitive, thinking judger. Now, this is somebody very independent, so it's likely that a lot of the efforts that you're going to be making in the future to beautify your life are going to be done alone. So this makes it far more likely that you are, in fact, going to choose the Tower path, which I think is a good sign. You're not going to take the easy route and allow others to do the work for you. It looks like there's a lot of personal productivity in your future. The Queen of Wands, or the INTJ, sees life as a kind of chessboard, approaching each matter carefully considering strategy, but as if it were a game, not taking anything too seriously. So the INTJ also is very theory-based, very skeptical, considers a lot before taking action, and has a high need for competency when it comes to her surroundings. So be very careful who you do let into your circle for at least this month, or at least as you let the events that are being alluded to here play out. The Queen of Wands looks for places where improvement is needed and applies the remedy, comes up with the remedy, conceives of the method to cure the whole situation, and then applies. So she's not only conceptual, but she's action-oriented as well. Very capable person. So if you are going to be adopting such capabilities, and it looks like you are, it is actually far more effective to take the Tower path. The easy route, the Four of Wands, though comfortable, is just not quite a match for what you're capable of. You could do so much more if you really dig down deep and do the dirty work. So that pretty much wraps this up. Thank you so much for listening and for watching. Don't forget to check out my website, IamHelios.com, and consider all that I offer there, especially if you would like to take this so much deeper.